We're up and running now. Thank you for your patience. So yeah, whenever you're ready, it's all yours.
Excellent. Good morning, Darren, and thank you for your time this morning. Let's start with some new faces then. Just announced earlier this morning, Rhys Healey joining the club. What is he going to bring to your Huddersfield Town side?
Yeah, no, we're really pleased to secure the services of Rhys. It's somebody that we've been targeting, and somebody that we've worked extremely hard with. And first and foremost, I thank the chairman and the team, obviously Mark and Lee for their tireless work and efforts to get Rhys into the club, because it was faced with a lot of challenges along the way. So to have Rhys here, we're really pleased. What does he give us? He gives us a focal point. He gives us, in both aspects of the game, that we know that working hard's a given, but he does. But he's a wonderful technician, and he's a clever player. And the main thing, the point what I'm going to leave, we feel that if we can get the ball to him in certain areas, that he'll pose a real goal threat for us going forward. So to secure Rhys, it's excellent. Him as a person, what a wonderful individual, lovely character, a team player, an unselfish individual, and certainly somebody that looks at the dynamics of the team and the players, and somebody that he wants to be a part of. And he's got a couple of teammates here in Lee and David Kasumu that he knows really well.
And he seems just ready and raring to go. He's scored goals at whichever club that he's been at, and he has been playing, albeit maybe not as many minutes as he would like at Watford. But was that part of the attraction, that he is experienced, he's got the record to prove it, but you can literally just throw him in there and let him get on with it?
Yeah, I think all those points that you've identified, Catherine, are absolutely spot on in terms of looking and getting Rhys, and probably something that probably was harder to get because of those attributes that you've just displayed to out there. So yeah, we feel Rhys is at a point where physically he's ready, he's able, and but one of the big things what he's showcased is that at the levels he's played at, his goal scoring record has been pretty much impressive, really. So that was another factor really in trying to get him in and identifying a part of an area of the team that we felt we needed to address, and hopefully in Rhys we've addressed that.
Do you see him operating as a lone striker, or are you going to play two up front with him and your other new signing, Radulovic, who we're waiting to see as well? How are you going to utilise him?
He can play as a lone. He can play as a lone striker. He can play up there. He can play with Bojan as well. We see that's the beautiful thing with Rhys. Also, again, with him in the team, he allows us to, if we should see fit, to change the shape and dynamics of the team. So that's the beautiful thing with having Rhys coming on board and having Bojan in the team, and aided with the players that's already at the club, and seeing their strengths and weaknesses, what the team have. Yeah, it just gives you a chance to change some dynamics in the team, Catherine. So plenty of work to do going forward, and get these new boys settled into the team as quickly as possible, and get them understanding the current existing players, and for the current existing players getting to understand them really. So we just look forward to the weeks ahead to getting on the grass and getting some work done.
And at the other end of the pitch, confirmed yesterday that Radinho Borca has joined you as well. I suppose you would look at it and think, well, you've already got quite a complement of very good defenders. So what does he add that's different to what you already had there?
Yeah, more depth in terms of that defensive unit and defensive structure. I think it's vital that we've had that. We've been I felt even, losing Utah, and hopefully, if they go all the way, hopefully Japan will be one of the firm candidates in trying to win that. So we felt we was a little bit short there, and then with Matty Pearson's injury, it just goes to show that with one or two injuries in that department, how it can leave you a little bit threadbare. I think with Brody coming back has kind of healed and fixed a gap in there really that we just wanted to do. We've utilised Reg in there, we've utilised Loic in there. So I just felt getting Radinho was right. He's somebody else that we targeted, that we wanted to. It's not just the here and now, Catherine. It's over the longer period. He's got wonderful power. He's got good athleticism. And he's tidy with the ball at his feet, really. There's parts to his game, that we want to tidy up and give him more, but there's one or two of the attributes that he's really, really good with. And again, he's somebody, that in terms of the character with what we wanted to bring into the club, he's got a wonderful character around him, a wonderful positivity, a good energy about him, and somebody that we're looking forward to working with moving forward.
With Radinho then, and with Rhys, are they both able to play tomorrow?
We feel with Rhys, he is. Radinho's arrived from Groningen with a serious bout of illness, so he's arrived from there, and you'll probably read that the game got called off tonight with Groningen when they're playing, and he was part of that, really. So he's arrived from here and he's been ill, serious bout of illness, so he won't be considered for the weekend. But that's something that happened upon his arrival here. And if you search tonight's game, you'll see that it's been called off. The whole game's been called off because the whole squad has been affected by the illness. So unfortunately for us, he won't be considered this weekend. But we'll build him up and get him going, and we'll see how he fares next week.
Equally, while we're on the subject of injuries, the other new signing that you mentioned, Bojan Radulovic, is he available this weekend?
Yeah, well, he's just. We're going to get him back into training, so we'll see how he goes. So at the moment with him, we'll rate him at 50-50 at the moment and see how he develops and see how he goes. So it's 50-50 that one is, Catherine, at the moment.
Okay. Is there anybody else going to be arriving? It seems like there's been a lot of new faces coming in over the past week. Is that it? Or could we potentially see a couple more before the end of January?
Well, remember, Catherine, we spoke about, towards the end of last year, we spoke about with the transfer window fast approaching. It goes to show that, the work to get these players in at the early part of the window, was ongoing. Probably back end of last year, and it illustrates that we've managed to secure the services of some real good players. We feel that's going to help us, and we've targeted the areas of the pitch where we needed to be. And it's not for the want of trying, but the hard work was always been implemented from last year to get these players in the door, because to get these type of players in the door at this early part of the window takes a consistent amount of work over the time. So we're really pleased to do that. We're really pleased to have gotten Brody back in around the team, because he adds to that. And might we see any more in 24 hours is a long time in football. That's the best thing I'm going to just say, really, in terms of it. But now the players are in, and we just focus on the game tomorrow. Okay,
so we're not ruling out anybody coming in. We're not ruling out any other business just yet, anyway.
It's best not to, Catherine.
Okay. Because we've got these new additions, new signings, does that in some ways increase the pressure on you now to actually deliver some results on the pitch?
No, because I keep saying, Catherine, from football's a results business and an industry, and whether you've got the players or not, it doesn't change. It really doesn't change. And since 30 years ago when I started, what the game was about, it ain't changed now, and it won't change another going forward. It is what it is, really. What I'm really grateful for is it gives us a bit more depth with the squad, which I don't think we've had, and it just gives us a bit more dynamics to the team, which we've not had. And that's the beauty of it all, really, in terms of that. I mean, to get these players in, we still got 11 on the treatment table, so it just shows you the magnitude. And that's why I've been so grateful with these players, because we've been asked to play the players in different positions and keep working and adapting and sort of putting square pegs in round holes and trying to adjust people and move people into position. And that's why I'm just really I've said I'm really outstanding in terms of the players' character in getting on with the job, what's been asked of them, and they'll have to continue to do so. And what we just certainly hope for is that we'll get on with it, and then as the weeks roll by, we'll get 1 or 2 more off the treatment table, because even with the signings that we've made, we still want 1 or 2 of them off the treatment table, which we will get. But in it's the here and now. Let's just focus on that. So to answer to your question, it doesn't change anything for me, Catherine. It's just a matter of just continuing to keep the squad moving forward, keep them improving, and by doing that, trying to always get those results that we all look to and want to get and crave for.
I ask because I guess you look at it, and the chairman has always said we're going to be very aggressive, we're going to be very proactive in the window. He's kind of delivered his end of the bargain, say, right, here you go, Darren, here's your shiny new players that you've asked for. Right, now, over to you. Get me some wins. Yeah,
but that was the same when I arrived here from day one. So I keep saying, from day one when I arrived and I took the job, was that. So nothing's changed with the players that's in. And as I said to you, hopefully with these players will come in, we'll get them settled in, and we'll carry on moving forward. And the aim, taking the job and coming on board with the chairman, with all what's changed around here and everything what's happened over this last year, and with the amount of change that's happened at Huddersfield Town, it doesn't change away from the fact of we're in an industry where it's about just getting results and moving forward and getting a group of players that there's a good team cohesion and moving forward, and that's what we'll continue to do, and that's where we'll continue to push towards. And I'm determined as ever to continue, and my determination didn't stop from day one, and it won't stop. It'll continue, Catherine, and keep pushing on and keep working hard, and look to get them results. It's the only way I know how, really, is hard work and determination.
He's talked this week, Kevin Nagle, about the need to get 3 wins on the bounce. I mean, that could make a huge difference to how the table looks. But equally, you know how tough the Championship is. How realistic is it to deliver 3 wins on the bounce in this league?
I think when you're looking at it like that, Catherine, in my experience, to get the 3 wins, it's about focusing on the first one, because you can't get the third one without the first one. So before we can run and say, we're going to get 3 wins, you've got to look at the next game, which is Saturday, which is Blackburn, and that's my job. My job is not to look ahead or surmise anything. Of course, you want to get a run of games. Of course, you want to build up momentum, but that only comes by that first game, and then you're able to build on top of it. What we're looking to do at the moment is the performances that we've gotten over the last, we've played 4 or 5 games, probably more. The performances have been heading in the right direction. In order for those wins to come by, we've got to keep building on the performance. And I feel the team's in a position now where we feel we can get those wins and secure those wins. But you've got to look at the first and foremost, which is the next game, which is tomorrow. So though we can go ahead and say, we're going to get 3 wins, the Championship's never like that. It never turns out to be that way. And that's where I'll just keep the focus on and keep that determination for the next game, and the next game's tomorrow.
And a trip to Blackburn, who you beat very comfortably at the John Smiths. Can you take anything from that game into tomorrow?
What I can take from it was a good win. It was a very, very good win, a good team performance. The team have felt what and how they need to perform in order to get good results in the Championship, and that was a great leveler for them for that game that we played on Boxing Day. Weeks have passed by from then. We've made a few signings, so a lot can change. I told you, a lot can change in 24 hours. So I'm not taking anything from the game. It was a good performance. It was a solid performance, and we did a lot of right things on the day. And we're going to have to do that and some tomorrow to come away with what would be another good result for us.
Yeah, and I appreciate you want to take it 1 game at a time, but if you do take this little block of these next 3 games against a Blackburn side who are having a difficult time, and then teams around you in Queen's Park Rangers and Sheffield Wednesday, how important is it, how vital is it that you do pick up, ideally, 3 wins from those fixtures before you start to take on again teams maybe at the other end of the table?
Yeah, and I can understand that from the media point of view, looking over the course of the games. The way I see it and the group of players see it, that those fixtures will come. They're in the fixture list calendar. So we look on those as a block of games that, yeah, we do see it, but the main focus for us, Catherine, I have to keep drawing it back in the players, and we're all speaking about that, is the game tomorrow, and making sure that we're loading everything into the game tomorrow, because that's what we're called to do, and that's our jobs really, is to maintain that. And then when the other fixtures do come along, we'll deal with those as they do come along. But the focus and the mindset and the mentality is the next game, and making sure that we're applying ourselves in the best possible manner, and we're prepared for the game. So we're looking forward to the game at Ewood Park first and foremost, and then we'll focus our attentions and look to those 3 points are available tomorrow, and how best can we try and get those with a good performance.
Best of luck, Darren. Good to talk to you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Catherine. Cheers.
Catherine.
Thank you.
We'll come to Stephen from We Are Terriers in the room next.
Hi, Darren. Bit more on team news if I can. Is there anyone at all close to returning for this weekend?
From the injuries, Jaheim no, Del no, Wardy no, Matty no,
Ruffs
no,
Yeah.
Maxi no,
Kian.
UT no, Kian no.
Yeah.
I can't think who else.
Think that's about Chappers and Pat Jones are the other two.
Chappers, Pat, no.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Good to go through them. The chairman on Saturday came out and said he doesn't like to see backwards passing. Is that a conversation you've had with him, with the players, and what's your stance on that?
I was the first one that said that to him when I joined it. So it was me. We had that conversation, and we just want to play forwards. And the game's about playing forwards and creating. And for every football fixture you'll see this season, to gain success, it's about playing forwards. I think there's going to be elements of the game that you have to play backwards. Of course, it's a game of football that's multi-directional. But obviously, in the main, you want to play forwards when it's on to play forwards. So we had that conversation, myself and the chairman, and we're both on the same page with that.
It's good to hear. I mean, is it about getting new habits into the players, perhaps? And when you look at the video back from the Plymouth game, pointing out, don't want you going backwards here, look forward. Is it about the chemistry in the midfield, all of these things? Yeah,
I mean, what you got to definitely, Steve, without it. But what also you got to remember as well is you got Plymouth dropped into a 5-4-1 low block. That's what we were faced with on Saturday. I thought the performance was solid enough. It was good enough. The positives from it was we went a goal down, and they came. And I thought second half you saw a team trying to push on and get back into the game. You know, I put young Tom Iapenda on really because he's got wonderful slick passes and little creative passes that can try and unlock and break the door, because they would drop back into their low 5-4-1 formation. So we was trying to unlock it and try and get back in the game, but we just couldn't force that. So the want was for us to try and win the game, but very, very difficult. So that even though there was a want from the players, you got to take credit to Plymouth that they didn't give much away. And we know when you drop into that low, deep block, how difficult it can be, because we've utilised that system and formation this season and been successful with it.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked at the game back again, obviously the lack of a centre forward or a winger on the bench was limited your options on what you could do to respond to it. But with Rhys Healey coming in, hopefully Bojan coming back from injury, is that hopefully something that in future, if that situation arises again, you do have those options to change it? Yeah,
obviously, bringing. I mean, it's clear for all to see here at Huddersfield Town, the area of the pitch where we felt we needed to strengthen, and we feel with the two players we've strengthened that area. So that's something that we've addressed, because that's something that's been lacking for a large part of the. If you look at the 27 games, the facts are there. The availability of our strikers, really, or what you would deem to be a striker in that position. So what we feel with those two, they are does what it says on the tin in terms of their positional sense. So for us to address that issue, I'm really pleased with, and we're really pleased with, because the January window to find players in that position is not an easy window to find, and we've managed to do our work early. So we had to do our work early to get them in. So with them both here now, it's about sort of settling them down, integrating them in the team, and implementing a game plan where we can best utilise.
You've touched on it already, but it seems like, you know, Bojan a bit more of a big man, likes to, you know, will come deep, link the play. Rhys Healey sort of plays off the last defender. He's quick, he's skillful. It seems like there could be a natural chemistry there. Was that sort of, when you were looking at the two striker signings, did you sort of intentionally want one of each? Is it just that's who was available? What's the thinking on that one?
Yeah, no, I think they both complement each other in that way, and we feel when Dell gets back and, you know, Danny Ward gets fit as well, those two will complement as well for the different combinations you can go up there. But immediately we're talking about the two new signings, and we're both talking about two strikers that have got three really, really different attributes to the game. But you can see the attributes, how they could lend towards the team. And I think that people can see that because for a brief, small cameo spell, we saw what Bojan did for us in the cup match, in how his link-up play was and everything else. So everybody's kind of warmed and encouraged by that performance. So with somebody like Rhys coming as well and looking, I'm sure everybody will be scouring the internet looking at his gameplay and seeing what he does, but we've already done our work, so you'll see aspects of that. What we hope is bringing Rhys in is that he'll get settled into the team, and we'll see what he can bring us going forward. But as I said, it's just getting the ball into those areas of the pitch where we feel that those players can be best utilised to bring that team that next step closer and better towards getting those wins.
What's your understanding of why Rhys hasn't been playing for Watford this season?
The options they've got. When you look at the options they've got up the top in the pitch, you know, I think they've got some wonderful players there. Rhys is a wonderful player, and yeah, they've just got some options up the top in the pitch that's probably limited his chances playing for them. But it's been a benefit for us in talking to Watford, and you know, we're very thankful for their negotiation and getting it done really, and somebody that we feel that we needed at the top end of the pitch. So that's the only thing I can think of really, Steve.
Last week you took Alex Matos off midway through the second half. Was that sort of a planned change, and might you need to manage his minutes on an ongoing basis with him being, you know, a youngster who's playing senior football for the first time?
Yeah, that's him. Development for his game, because the lack of minutes he's played over the first half of the season. What we don't want Alex to do is put his body into levels of a demanding league and force him to break, because Alex has come out of youth team football at a very high level at Chelsea, but also we know the Championship is a really different in terms of demands, physicality, stresses on the body. It's a whole new ball game really. So Alex was really done well. We increased his minutes again. He's had another week's training volume again. So all these bits and pieces with us working alongside Chelsea will see his minutes increase and see his game time increase. So it was great for him.
Cool. That's all from me. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Stephen. Leon from the Oxford Post. Good morning.
Hi, Darren. Hope you're well.
Morning, Leon.
Good. I was just wondering, with is there a chance of any sort of loan players sort of going out before the end of the window? I know you've had one or two just to broaden the development. You've obviously added to your squad, haven't you? So.
Yeah, Leon, that is the case. Yeah, that we may see one or two sort of go out and gain some loan experience as part of their development going forward. So we won't rule that out. We probably had one or two inquiries for one or two of our players that we're discussing at the moment, but nothing's been set in stone at the moment. But there is a possibility of that, yes.
I suppose the ideal thing for you brought in two strikers now, and if you can get Berzog and Ward back, then that's obviously Kieran Harrett as well. You know, as many strikers to pick from as you can, and you know, making changes from the bench. And is that too far away? I mean, that'll hopefully, as the you get into the winter, spring, the running, you're confident that'll be the situation that you can hopefully pick from.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, Leon, how far both Wardy and Dell is at the moment. You know, they're in the capable hands of our medical team. But I would say to you, Leon, to answer that question, the quicker we get those two back to add to what we've got, again, will be another positive additions to the squad. Because, like you said, Leon, at the top end of the pitch, you can never have too many options up there. So to get them two back would increase the numbers, because we certainly need that, really, as these fixtures are starting to come up, really. So hopefully, but as to give you a time frame when they're both back, I couldn't say that at the moment.
With Healey, Darren, it sounds to me he's obviously the striker. Is he like a footballing type of striker? He can he's obviously got that education in France. He's played for MK Dons with Russell Martin, who's a technician on the coaching front. Is he that sort of player? He can play one across the line, and maybe he's a tenor.
Yeah.
How do you see it with him?
Yeah, no, you're spot on with that. He's a wonderful technician. He's a clever player. He's got a keen eye for goal. And he's aggressive in his style of play in terms of how he goes about the game and the pitch and everything else. But what he does is he doesn't mind doing his work in behind defences. He doesn't mind doing his work in front of defences and linking up play and bringing the team further up the pitch. So he does bring us that as a player, which is something I feel that we needed as a team. When I've come in and assess the squad and looking at the different dynamics of the team, and I just thought that we could do with that. Obviously, part of that as well is when you look at the injuries that we've had, that's not helped in any way, shape or form.
No.
So there's been a more fervent approach in terms of securing him, and that's why the pleasing thing is that we're pleased to have him in and managed to get him in where he's in time to be involved this weekend.
And with a Dutch lad as well, Bolker, the both players offer you sort of tactical flexibility to change systems and in a game, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and Rodinho as well was really pleased to get him over the line, and he does force and he does give me options to do that, really, in terms of how his game is about, really. And we're really pleased to have him because, as I said, Leon, he's played at a level last season that we identified as a good level in that Dutch league, and he was persistent with his club, and we're just pleased that we managed to get him, because in all fairness, we probably thought we'd have got him in the summer, so to get him now in January, we're really pleased to get him now.
Yeah. Cheers, Darren. Thanks for your time as ever.
Cheers, Leon. Thank you.
Matthew, anything to add, sir, or is that okay?
Hello, Darren.
Hi, Matthew.
I've just got one quick question just on the game coming up on Saturday. Obviously, we've already spoken about the Blackburn game previous on Boxing Day, where Huddersfield won 3-0. And you said that the team had felt like that's how they need to perform to get the results. It's come out recently this week that John Dahl Tomasson said that he isn't going to change his tactics or his formation, despite obviously their recent performance has not been brilliant. Does this kind of help boost your confidence and the team's confidence, knowing that the team you faced and beat 3-0 is going to be set up stylistically similar this weekend?
I think for us, Matthew, it's making sure that we're focusing on our own game. We knew the level of performance was needed for that. The game would be different because it's in a different environment. The game would be different because both teams have had a good look at each other pretty much recently, if you like, and so John Dahl probably feels that, in terms of how he's going and setting up, he's got a real strong belief in, as have all managers, in terms of how they set their team up. So there's nothing right or wrong with it. The thing for me is making sure that we're focusing on the work that we've been doing and a continuation of building the work that we've been doing. I think that's been the most important thing for our progress and progression with the team going forward. So we predict another tough game. They all are in the Championship, and I expect no different tomorrow. And it's getting our mindset and ready for it's going to be a tough game, but a game that certainly, Matthew, we're really looking forward to, and in terms of our progress going forward.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
guys.
Matthew.
Thanks,
Cheers,
everyone.
guys.
Yeah. We'll
Thank
be along
you.
with Rhys shortly, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rhys, welcome to Huddersfield Town. The club's been crying out for a goal scorer for ages, and now they've suddenly got you and another new signing as well, Bojan Radulovic. So, here to solve the goal scoring problem. Over to you.
Yeah, I'd like to say so. Look, I've come in and hopefully I'm going to score some goals, but I think my main focus is, cementing my place in the team and working hard and helping out as much as I can in any way, and if that's goals, and I'm here to do that.
Making the move up north from Watford, what's your time there been like? I imagine it's maybe been a little bit frustrating for you.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. I didn't play as much as I want to. I think it's due to the fact of maybe systems and stuff like that, but I've got to look past that now and concentrate on my job, and my job is at Huddersfield, and I'm looking forward to the challenge at Huddersfield.
And was that one of the big selling points, that you are pretty much going to be first choice striker, and you're going to be given a lot more opportunities than perhaps you were going to get at Watford?
It's hard to say you're going to be first choice and all this, but it's down to me to perform and stuff like that. But it was the vision of the club and where they want to go, and it's something I really want to be part of, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of it.
As you say, it is going to be a challenge because the club's looking to move away from the bottom of the Championship at the moment. It's been a difficult time, a lot of transition. So how did Huddersfield actually sell this to you as to why it would be a good move for you to come here?
We didn't once think about where we are on the table. We just spoke about what we're doing going forward. And as a player myself, I just think positive. So the ambitions they told me and the direction they want to go was something, like I said, I wanted to jump at, and I got like I said, I'm here now, and I'm looking forward to it.
You have made some brave moves over the course of your career, not least even MK Dons to go over to France and had a successful time with Toulouse. Just how much did that spell in France kind of develop you both as a player and as a person as well?
Yeah, that move gave me everything to be where I am today. Like you said, in my career as well as outside my career. I had amazing times there, and it developed me, like I said, in every possible way. And like I said, I hopefully can bring all the positive that's happened my time in France over to here, and put it to good use now.
Quite a big call at the time because you had an incredibly successful spell at MK Dons. So was it a difficult choice to make at the time?
No, it wasn't difficult, to be fair, because I love a challenge. So when the opportunity came, it was a straightforward, let's go and challenge myself. And I think for me, I have to be challenged because I like to challenge myself and get the best out of me in when there's pressure and like challenges. So for me, it was a good thing to do.
Over the course of your career, you've always delivered on the goal scoring front. Your record speaks for itself. Were you
At the stage of the young football, I was a winger, and it wasn't until around 12-13 where the coaches pulled me aside and said, this is not for you. You need to be as a striker, because I always had that eye for goal, as they say. So for me, it's one of the best positions on the pitch you could possibly play.
Were you one of those kids that, Sunday League football, you were banging in like 8-9 goals a match kind of situation?
Yeah, I was, but at the time you were only young. I was just there to play with my mates, but when I think back now through when I was that young, I was obviously every game 3 or 4 and stuff like that, but it was a fun time and a good time to look back when I'm older as well.
Who inspired you then as a young player? Were there strikers that you particularly looked up to or tried to play in a similar style to?
I looked up to Wayne Rooney when I was very young, obviously. Everybody knows what he was like when he was young and going through. And then shortly as I got older, 18, 19, 20, I used to love Jamie Vardy because I had similar traits to him, sort of like the way I ran and stuff like that. So I think Rooney and when I was much younger, Vardy as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've both had incredible careers and interesting career trajectories as well, particularly Jamie Vardy kind of coming from non-league football and making it to the very top, winning Premier League titles. Is he the sort of player that you sort of take real encouragement from, real ambition from, to see, that you can come from all sorts of different levels, different backgrounds and make it to the very top?
Yeah, exactly that. I think at the time I came from non-league as well, so obviously he has that trait as well, so I think that's what made me look at him and study him as well. But like you said, it gives his career path gives major inspiration to players that are going through the similar situation, and it's opened up many doors for other people just because of what he's done for himself in his career.
What's the aim then for the rest of this season and going forwards with Huddersfield? In the short term, do you kind of set yourself a target as to what you would like to achieve here?
Yeah, I think short term is getting the 3 points on the board, performing as a team. I think that's the main thing for me, and I'm sure it is for the team. And then the long term is maintaining, like I said, the wins and the tough games. If we come out with wins as well, is maintaining that and building up on that and getting a good run of form together.
Yeah, did you set yourself a goals target for your time here at Huddersfield to the end of this season to start with?
No, I don't really set goal targets. For me, it's just come into the team and do everything I possibly can to affect the team and do everything I can to get the points on the board, the 3 points. So for me, the target is to hit the ground running and do everything I can to be a positive spark for the team.
You'll be well aware of some of the talent here at Huddersfield Town, not least the likes of Sorba Thomas. Have you already had the conversation with him about, right, you stick it here and I'll get on the end of it? Not
just yet, no, but I knew before joining Huddersfield the type of players they have, and obviously Sorba Thomas his delivery is something I see me on the end of. So I'm sure the more days and weeks that come, I'll gel more with him, and then hopefully I can have a chat with him, and like you said, he'll understand me more and I'll understand him, and I think it'll be a great connection to have.
And it really seems like, although you've not had as many minutes as you would like at Watford, but you've scored for them really recently as well, that ready to hit the ground running, just get in there and get started.
Yeah, I haven't had much minutes, but I've played the the last 2 games for them, so I'm up to speed, and for me as a player as well, the more games I get in, the more minutes I progress, and I think that's for every player. So I'm in a good shape, and I'm happy to. I'm ready to go. So yeah.
Excellent. Best of luck. Thanks for your time, Rhys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Catherine. We'll just come to Stephen Chicken in the room.
Hi Rhys, good to meet you. One thing that stands out when you look at the clips of your goals is the variety of them. It's left foot, right foot, head, inside, outside the box. Is that something you've sort of intentionally worked on to have different things in your locker?
No, I think I've always had the left and right foot. I think I've scored more career goals with my left, my weak foot. I've always had that feeling of I can finish with both inside the box. I think I've worked on a lot of my heading recently, but I think it comes down to timing, and I've really knuckled down on that, and the last 2 years I've managed to score a few headers, so I'm still working as well.
Are you the kind to sort of stay behind for extra on the training pitch, trying out different types of finish?
If I can. Nowadays it's the sports science people that drag you in, but for me, if I can, what I can do extra, I do, and I love being on the training pitch to practice my finishing, but I have to persuade the goalkeepers as well to stay up.
We've been talking to the gaffer as well about whether you might play with a partner as a lone striker. Have you had experience of both? Do you have a preference, one or the other?
I've had the experience of both, yeah. I'm very versatile, so I don't mind either. So it just comes down to whatever the gaffer, the situation he puts people in, and for me, I can do both.
When we look at sort of the squad, one fellow new arrival, Bojan Radulovic, looks like he'd be a particularly natural fit for you. You've got sort of, he's a bit taller, a big man. You've obviously, you're playing on the shoulder last defender, you've got the pace. Do you see that relationship being fruitful potentially?
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, he's a big target man, and I'm possibly the opposite. So I think in the terms of football, it always works. So I'm excited to work with him.
Unfortunately, in France you had that fantastic season, top scorer in the second division. You go up to the first tier, you get a goal, and then you have a serious injury that keeps you out for almost the whole season. Do you feel like that's behind you now, well behind you, and feeling confident with your body?
Yeah, it's behind me. It takes a while to get back up to where you were before, but for me, that's past me. That passed me many months ago. It just comes down to playing frequently, and for me to hit that form, and I only get that is by getting minutes and games in me, and that's my target.
Any injury is devastating, but I think particularly for you, having sort of worked your way up from non-league and the Welsh League to the top flight in France, and then that happens, must have been gutting. Does that make you even more determined now to enjoy success back in England and maybe look at another promotion?
Yeah, of course. For any player, it's not good to be in the gym every day and stuff like that. But for me, that's past me, and I've always had the fire in my belly in football, so I've got it even more now. I've joined Huddersfield, so like I said, I'm just raring to go, and I'm ready to do everything I can.
What's the gaffer said to you about what he wants to see from you and what he wants you to bring to the side?
I think he just said that he knows what I can do, attacking wise and defending wise as well. And he said ultimately, I want you to bring your goals as well as enjoy myself, because I think in football, if you're enjoying yourself, you can do anything. So I think that's what he told me. But ultimately, it's down to me, to show him what I can do as well.
You did as much as you could at Watford with your chances. You got a couple of goals. You only played about 200 minutes, wasn't it? But you got a couple of goals and an assist in that time. Why do you think that move hasn't quite worked out for you?
Yeah, I just think it comes down to preference of maybe style of play, or like I said, I didn't get as much minutes as I like, and coming in now and then, it's difficult for a player to hit the form. So I think it's just a bit of preference from both sides. But I enjoyed my time there while I was there.
Do you feel like this is a club that might be able to make better use of your talents?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the club fits me perfectly. So this is why I chose to come here, and I was buzzing to get it done. And for me, I think everything about the club fits me perfectly. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, nice to meet you. Welcome to Huddersfield.
Cheers, Stephen. We'll just come to Leon back on Zoom.
Hi, Rhys. Congratulations that you moved, mate. I was just having a look at your career. It seems a bit of a long and winding route. You've had some ups and downs. I mean, that mental strength. I mean, I think, did you leave Rochdale as a kid and you were having trials?
Yeah.
Not getting on, and were there ever a sort of point when you thought maybe football might not happen for you?
No, never. I've always been a person to, if I want it, I'll get it.
Yeah.
I knew I had something. I knew I had something from a young age.
Yeah.
I just put it down to coaches, whatever teams were at, would get it out of me, and I was lucky enough to get that and get the move to Cardiff, and then from there I kicked on.
Do you look back at those days at Connacht and the Nomads and the non-league, and I suppose you look back fondly? I suppose it can be the making of you, can't it? Really, you got the goals and you get back on the map that way.
Yeah, I think the time at Connacht made me. I was only young. I don't think I was an adult until I was playing before I was 16. So I was playing against some people that I played over 300 games in the league that dropped down to there. So it made me who I was going into the professional environment, because I got kicked every weekend. I didn't like it, but welcome to men's football. So for me, it made me who I am.
What were you doing? Were you sort of at college then, something like that, and you were playing and obviously playing against blokes, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I was at school and college, and then on the weekend I'd go and play with them. I just enjoyed it, and then I knew something would come from it, so I just kept playing with a smile on my face, and then I was lucky enough, I got the opportunity to go into a professional environment. Yeah,
I mean, your time at Cardiff, I mean, you rubbed shoulders with one or two big names there. There was Craig Bellamy, and were you a City fan or something? I think I read something.
Yeah.
Right, so that must have been, must have been good for your development, and obviously Ollie as well when he was manager there.
Yeah, like you say, the calibre of names that were there, the manager Ollie. For me, it was just, I was excited to go in every day and just watch them train and train with them and learn everything I can. And like you said, I think being so young there, I learned a lot, and it's put me in a good stance of where I am today.
Obviously, behind every footballer is a good support team. You like family and friends are always, lifting your spirits when you might have a few knocks, that sort of thing. Sounds like probably some important people to thank as well in that regard who've been part of your journey. Yeah,
definitely. I think the main person is my partner.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's been there for everything. So, but all the other coaches have had my back as well through it all. So it's all been positive. So it's been a long journey, but everyone has played their role, and
So she followed you around to France, to London, to Cardiff, and
everywhere, and she stuck by me through hard times. So.
And this is good as well. You've got a decent deal. You can sort of settle down and get back to it, and it seems a good footballing fit for you as well.
Yeah, it's perfect for me, the footballing fit. So I think it's something like I keep repeating. I'm really excited to get going, and I'm just buzzing to get going.
Yeah, I was going to ask you finally about obviously your time at MK Dons. Russell Martin, funny enough, you play Southampton, don't you, in a few weeks?
Yeah.
He's a real sort of technical football coach. I mentioned it to Darren Moore. It seems like he really got the sort of the best out of you, and you learnt a lot from him in your time there, especially.
Yeah, I think he was, like you said, what he's done and the way he plays. He was probably the coach that got stuff out of me I didn't realise I had, and pushed me onto a next level. And like you said, from going there to Toulouse, was his. He asked me to go and knew how much I could develop out there, and like you said, all credit to him. He developed me into the player I am today. So
and your life experience in Toulouse was good. I mean, you knocked in quite a few goals there, so that suggests you were really happy there, and on and off the pitch.
Yeah, it was a really good time in my career. One of my favourite times in my career. My family were there. Had a baby there, and the football inside was amazing. But that's past me now. But I still have, will always have good memories from my time out in France.
Very best of luck, Rhys, and all the best. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Cheers, Leon. Matthew, finally, is there anything from yourself?
Hello, Rhys. Nice to speak to you. Just from like a fan's point of view, what can they expect to see from your game, like when you start kicking on at Huddersfield?
I think you could expect a player to give everything they've got on a match day in the shirt. I think you can expect from me honesty, as well as if I get opportunities around the box, in the box. I believe I'll be very clinical if I get the opportunities. So I think the main thing is you're going to get a hard-working player and a team player as well.
Okay, thank you very much. That's great. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, Rhys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Finished?